Right, it's the 17th of October. 3 weeks after the last load of lambs away. I haven't actually sold anything else in between. I've been wanting to get a couple of cows away, and the plan is to get them in this evening because they're all coming in now for hay. I should be able to get them this evening and get them in the loading shed overnight, where they have a bit of hay anyway. These first two are quite agreeable ones. I actually have I think I have 8 cows to go, and I'll certainly like to get two load of four, at least 4 away before they're even shut in, hopefully. Well, it's not the end of the world if we don't. But these two I want to get away. They're quite old ones, so one of them is just the second oldest we have, and although she's not frail, she could soon go downhill. They're both in a similar category really. They'll be alright at the moment, they look quite fit, but they soon start to go downhill as autumn really sets in. Mr. Sam doing a bit of trimming. If he wanted to come down our lane, I wouldn't be surprised. See, I don't really mind. Let's let this green thing come through. Where is he going? I think he stopped as well. This is what happens. Oh no, he is still coming. Just stop. Eyo, let's go. Anyway, I have just 10 lambs in. I thought I might have got 10 lambs and at least 2 yows, but I think there's 8 total there, and only one of them is fit, although there is another one still in with the yows. So it's not a very big load. I mean, 12 is a okay load, 10 is getting a bit silly really. But these 10, they seemed alright. I couldn't, they weren't like impressive, but they're sort of still quite small. I noticed this with the weights 3 weeks ago, that there were 42 kilos or something like that. I don't know, whereas sometimes we were more like 44, 46. But it's partly because while you're sorting them, you find that the small ones seem fitter than the big ones. I'm not quite sure why that is. It was funny, last time I came, I say it's 3 weeks ago now, it's this way. Ooh, another big wagon. Last time I came, I was coming down here with this camera on. Well, the screen's gone off now. Good, I thought I had to turn the screen off manually or something. I couldn't work out why it wasn't going off. I think it's on 5 minutes before it goes off. But anyway, I was coming down here, and as is per normal, you had to keep stopping. And I put it on the Castleton Facebook group, and they're a bit touchy about this because they keep trying to make out that everyone who comes through Castleton is speeding. And I've had a set to with them a couple of times actually. So how the hell is anybody speeding? Because you can't hardly get through the place for all the parked cars when there's other traffic coming. Anyway, they're not happy because it's nothing whatsoever to do with that. By coincidence, they've put double yellow lines out along here, which just a bit lower down. So I think that the point is, the reason they don't like it, because it's nobody parked there anyway. Do you see on the right here where this is where the co-op was going to be? I think the double yellow lines are due to the co-op being open now in theory, but it's not. But I think they don't like it because it sets a precedent. But they're having done that, they could have some more somewhere else, you say. In one place it desperately needs it is round this, after this junction, down here. You come down here, there's that nasty little step, and then these lot here, nearly as bad. Because now I've decided to talk about it today, it wasn't too bad. But sometimes you stop start, and you're in mortal danger of not being able to get any further. At times, if something big's coming up, I think you could literally get in a state where nobody could move anywhere. So anyway, I've got as far as I know, my audio is working well, so I can talk about anything within reason. I mean, some people witch on about all sorts of political stuff and that, but I've noticed the odd time I've mentioned literally anything, a month later you sound stupid because you didn't know something about it, or conditions have changed. I mean, the classic thing at the moment would be, Prime Ministers and things, because we had Boris Johnson, and the media and some more never liked him, and he comes over as that sort of clownish buffoon, but sometimes he isn't like personally responsible for every detail. It shouldn't be. He's got ministers below him that specialise in all the things. So a person with some character, even if it's a bit buffoonish, it's not really a bad thing. Not in itself. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been my choice for Prime Minister. But when he was Mayor of London for a while, and I think even the people who didn't like him conceded he actually was quite good, because he sort of got stuff done. And that's like, a strong personality who's not inherently disagreeable can make people want to help. So it's exactly the same thing, really. I can, although I didn't like him, I think he was not half as bad as they were trying to make out. But then, in my opinion, what's happened, we have they got the other candidates, some of which were not too bad, out of the running, and they got it down to Rishi Sunak, vote for him, or Liz Truss, who you couldn't imagine a more drippy, thick, hopeless. I mean, she can't even. I think I would be better at public speaking than her. She sort of practices a certain sound bites, and if somebody asks her a different question, she can't string a sentence together. But I mean, I haven't honestly taken that much notice because we don't have TV at home, so I've only seen bits of her. But I think all my worst fears in that regard have been realised, that she's hopeless, because nobody believed that she would get in. They were determined to get Rishi Sunak in. Now, he may well have been alright. I don't know, no real problem with him. It's this Chancellor who seemed sort of alright. But what he is, he's like the globalist candidate for the WEF. He's their golden boy. And you know what they're really trying to do is push forward their globalist agenda. And these all sound like conspiracy theories, don't they? But unfortunately, it's all too true. You can see this is what's happened. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Hunt, he's a big EU fan, he's a big WEF fan, and he'd just been in Brussels on some sort of meeting, fair enough, and then he comes back home and, oh, you're Chancellor now, out of the blue, because what's he got to recommend him for being the Chancellor? So, if you ask me, they're on the verge. Whether it'll come off or not is another matter, so I'm like adding the qualifiers. As I said, the problem is you come back 2 weeks later and you sound stupid. But it wouldn't surprise me one little bit if they're pushed back, rejoining the EU, because I think that's what he's been discussing. And we'll have Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor apparently, because that's already a done deal. And then we'll have Sunak propelled into Prime Minister. Anyway, on the farm situation, so I'm not. What's after there? Oil's gone up a bit again. It's 184 for diesel there. I filled up with one at 179, and then I had to order some red diesel, which had been hovering around £1. It's actually been nearly in the 90s for a while. But I was surprised it was 120 again, or 119.9. So I only got 1,000 litres. Well, I wasn't quite sure how much space I had in because I only got 1,000 the time for, because it was 120 then and all. So I missed the 20p less expensive bit. It's not if you're only getting 1,000 litres, because I don't use much so into it, doesn't seem that bad. If you only get 1,000, because it's only like the difference between £1 and £1.20. Sorry. Yeah, 120. Is it £200? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't seem too bad on a smaller amount. But I still don't know why that's gone up by a fifth, where the road diesel's gone up by maybe 2 or 3p. Is it because it's the actual oil that's gone up rather than other things? Now then, I can't get past him there now, there's a car coming. I don't think, I mean, you could have done it if you were cheeky. With the trailer on, you can't accelerate that fast even when it's empty. You know, it's not empty, but I don't have much in it. So what are we like here? Can we get past this here now? You just have to wait, mister. There's one time someone was going to do a big flash manoeuvre past me, just as I was thinking of going myself. Now then, what's he doing? He's letting them past. Good man. I'm not really bothered myself because I only could end up with him about 2 minutes behind me when I get down there anyway. $186. They're taking the pissing with me at the moment with their fuel. 22nd to 23rd of October, the swing bridge is closed. Is this the Goth weekend? Don't think so. That's just 2 days. 22nd, 23rd, that could be the Friday, or the Saturday and the Sunday. Can't work it out. So unexpectedly my camera shut down from heat. We didn't do that last time. It was a warmer day than this, or at least as warm. Or was it? Because it wasn't sunny. I've got the windscreen on 22 degrees, it might be partly that, but I think it's mainly the sun. Surprised how many people come down here with tractor and trailer, because you feel right plonker. I was to set off a bit later because it's already 20 to 11. I'll be back by about 15:15. But I'm not going up the coast road, which takes a bit longer. It's a nice little ride, especially when it's sunny though. But it's not bad going back up the moor road empty. So petrol at 164 doesn't seem that bad, but the diesel's dear there. I mean, I've seen petrol below 160 on place. Where was it? Coombe roadside. There's a fair few sheepies coming in apparently. Still tinkering with the roll. have a tiny little patch, unless they're actually excavating, a little patch to do. Now they're sort of looking at it. There's a fair old queue behind them now. Apparently someone was saying that these now getting older Isuzu, because this one is 8 years old. Someone says they start having problems with the regen, which they more or less sort of do it constantly. Well, I think that's a symptom of doing a lot of short runs or something, because mine certainly isn't doing anything weird in that department. It's on level 2 at the moment, so it goes up to, I think it's 5, and then it does this regen thing where it does something a bit like in putting fuel into the exhaust system, which burns off. I don't quite know what happens. So you might notice if you were actually outside it while it was doing it, you might notice some sort of different smell. I don't know where to get clouds of smoke or any smoke at all, but it might behave differently. And obviously if it's regenning all the time, it's going to knacker up your fuel consumption a lot. Scaling dam there, pretty well full. He's got mowers on, look. Oh, I see, it's that self-loading thing. And probably the fry at Smith's. They have a sort of zero grazing thing where the mow on the front mower and picks up directly behind it. It's actually surprising in a way how close the turbines at Red can look. Oh yes, I can see. I nearly went past the road end there. There's something else I can see there, which is reminding me of where it is. I don't know whether they're even turning or not. He ought to be, because there's a bit of a... Earlier on it was an east wind. I think it's more back in the west, but there's a good breeze blowing. Right, we've got the camera going again by switching it down to 1080p, but it still didn't want to start. 1080p 25. Annoying. And I would have hoped it would have recorded. This is supposed to be one of the strong points of this camera, that it will not overheat, but it does. I'd have gone down there, but I can't. Well, I could, but I'd run over his white paint. I'm assuming we're going to have our wool picked up any day now. Usually it's about now. The it's called John Dale Transport from near Malton, Willington or something. Anyway, he's been coming for years, and we do it here. This year there's a lot of gravel there again, but there was last year actually. And anyway, he was understandably, because he certainly looks about 60. I don't know how old he is. He said he was going to stop doing it, but it wasn't just that he was physically wanting to retire, but his relatively old wagon was going to be charged £80 every time he went into Bradford or something, because the wool depot is just inside the ring road or whatever, where they've arbitrarily drawn the boundary of this charging area to do with emissions. So because he's category 4 or 5 or whatever it is, I don't know what the old type of wagon without like this one has this regen thing, doesn't it? It doesn't have any of that, so he's not allowed inside without paying an extra fee. It's complete nonsensical nonsense, because he doesn't even go into the town. He just goes over onto the ring road and drops off the slip road, and there it is. I don't know exactly where it is, but he didn't really go into the town. It wasn't like he was driving through the middle of Bradford with it, in any case. But I mean, we should look at this. The reality of the situation is, how many 15 or 20-year-old wagons are going to drive through Bradford anyway, or just even into they'll go around the ring road and that's alright.